Alright, for today's video, we're going to look at multiplying and dividing with radicals. Very similar to what we do with simplifying, just basically adding one step. Okay, we'll look at a couple of examples, and then if you've got any questions, make any notes, and I can work through those tomorrow in class. Alright, so this first example, whenever we multiply with radicals, we can multiply whatever is on the outside of the radical and whatever is on the inside of the radical together. So if I look at my coefficient, I basically have a 2, and basically there's a 1 here. We don't have to write it, but it's there. So 2 times 1 is 2. I got the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, which is the square root of 9. So I want to simplify that because that's not simplified all the way. So that's going to be 2. The square root of 9 is 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. And that's it. That's multiplying with radicals. Look at one more example. So again, we'll multiply coefficients, 2 times 5, so that's 10. Then I can multiply what's underneath my radical, that radicand, so 3 times 6 is 18. And I want to simplify that, so that 18 is 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. I have a pair of 3's, so that's going to be 10 times, my 3 goes outside, so it's going to be 10 times 3. Times radical 2. 10 times 3 is 30. So then I've got 30 times the square root of 2.
Coach, you got a basketball?
Alright, last example we'll look at one with multiplying with exponents. And I'll show you this fourth example down here. If you want to see one like this done in class, I'll be more than happy to work it with you. But I'll just do one more like this so we can go into the division. So again, I'm going to multiply what's on the outside. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10 x. Then underneath my radical, I have 3 times 6, so 18. Now my x's. So x squared times x to the 4th is x to the 6th. Remember, whenever we're multiplying with exponents, we add them. And then y times y to the 4th is y to the 5th. Alright, so if I want to simplify that. That 18, we've done this a couple times, that 18 is going to be 2 times 9. That 9 is going to be 3 times 3. I've got a pair of 3's, so that's going to go outside of my radical. The 2 is going to go inside. Okay. Now I look at my x's and y's. That's square root of x to the 6th, and I'll write it over here. That's square root of x to the 6th, y to the 5th. I can take the square root of x to the 6th right away. That's just x to the 3rd power. Remember in class talking about we just divide that. That y to the 5th, I'm going to think of this y to the 5th as y to the 4th times y. I can take the square root of y to the 4th. That's y squared times the square root of that y left over. Now I need to take everything that I have in common, so I'm going to write that up here. So right now I have that negative 10x from the very beginning of my problem times 3 from right in here, okay, so times 3 times x to the 3rd y squared. Now I need what's inside my radical. And then I have to simplify it one more time. Underneath my radical, I just have a 2 and a y. Now outside my radical, I need to simplify this. Okay, so I do negative 10 times 3 is negative 30. My x to the 3rd times x, so x to the 4th, times y squared. Underneath my radical is 2. And I apologize for my handwriting. I'm trying to do this with the little pad here on my laptop. So, and that's it for that one. So that's simplified. Okay, so we'll look at just two examples on simplifying with the radical in the denominator. There's not really a whole lot to them. And if you want to see some more tomorrow, like I've got a bunch of them on. If you want to see some of these some extra ones tomorrow, we can do that. If not, I'll just keep it kind of simple right now, just to keep the video a little bit on the shorter side. Okay, so I need to multiply. I want to get rid of this radical down here to the denominator. I can't just square it because that's going to change the value of my terms. So what I want to do is I want to multiply the top and bottom by whatever my radical is in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 3. Well, on top, when I do that, I'm going to get 5 times the square root of 3 over, because I can't multiply what's outside the radical with what's inside. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9. So I can simplify that. So I have 5 times the square root of 3 over square root of 9, which is 3. And that's it. That's as simple as I can write it, because I can't divide the 5 over 3. I can't simplify that. That's it. Now notice a little shortcut here. I have the square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3. It's whatever's underneath my radical. Okay? Alright, so we'll look at one more example, and if you want to see some more in class, just let me know. Alright, so I want to get rid of that radical 2 in the denominator, so I want to multiply both top and bottom by the square root of 2. So on top, I'm going to have 6 times the square root of 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2 is just 2. Well, I'm not done yet. I can simplify this 6 over 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3 times the square root of 2. And I've got nothing in my denominator anymore because they simplified. The 6 over 2 simplified to just 3. Okay? Now, if you want to see some, I'll show you some extra examples. If you want to see these work, just let me know tomorrow. Most of what you're going to see in class this year, our denominator is either going to be a radical 2, radical 3, something like that. Because that's more of what we're going to see in class. When you get into Algebra 2, you go into stuff that's a little bit more complicated as far as that goes. Okay? Alright, I thank you for watching the video, and we'll do some more examples and practice problems in class.